This is a 2018 iPad Pro. This is a PlayStation 4 controller. And this is Google Stadia. Hello everyone, thanks for watching. In the first part of this video, I'll share with you what I think about the Google Stadia service. In the second part, I'll share with you the experience of playing Google Stadia on the iPad. Let's go then. I've been hungering for proper gaming on the iPad since its launch. I've never been a fan of the games available on the App Store. I never understood why people wouldn't mind paying thousands of dollars through in-app purchases to play what to me always felt was boring and not very well built games. I've tried to play my PlayStation games through the PS Remote Play app, but the experience was just average. At home would work most of the times, but when I was away from home it wouldn't work at all. Then Apple launched Apple Arcade and I thought that it should be it. But 2 hours after subscribing when it was launched, I sank on the couch desperate. There was no good game to be played and I found myself moving from game to game trying to find something that would catch my eye. A few days later I cancelled my subscription, never giving a second thought to it. It was Apple that sold the iPad as a console game ability.
2 times the performance of the previous generation. To put it another way, the iPad Pro delivers Xbox One S class graphics performance in a product that's 94% smaller, and there's no AC cord required.
But there was no games or service to rise to the sentence, until Google Stadia arrived. If for some reason you never heard about Google Stadia before, it's basically Google's reaction to stream gaming. That means that you don't need a console in your house to play games. Instead, you'll use the super powerful Google servers to pull down the video games available on pretty much every screen and device wherever you are. For me, one of the best features of Google Stadia is the fact that it's not exactly like other streaming services like Netflix, HBO or Amazon. You don't pay a monthly fee and you have access to all games on the platform to play. You still have to buy your games to be able to play them, which I find is the best way because it means that they are mine to keep. I can understand that for some people it would be better to have a subscription service that would allow them to access freely all the games. But I'm not a heavy gamer, so I rather buy the few games that I wish to play and own them. Sure, you have a subscription model called Stadia Pro that will give you some extra perks, like being able to play 4K games and get some better deals when you buy them. But you don't have to subscribe to it. You can just use the basic version, buy your own games and play them at 1080p. A great advantage about playing games through this streaming service is the fact that you don't have to be worried about updates. They are always updated on Google servers and every time you sit down to play you always have access to the updated games. And as I said, you can play it on almost any device, even Apple devices. The interface experience is average. There is no search tool available, which makes it harder to look for and find the game that you are looking for. Even so, because the library is not that huge, it can be easy to find a game to play. Once you start playing a game, it becomes immediately available to play every single time you access the platform. There are quite a good amount of AAA games available to play, although most of them are not new. The good thing is that you can buy them at a nicer price, or even nicer if you subscribe to the Pro version, which is really great, and I imagine that more and more often Stadia will have new games available to play the moment they came out to the market. So, what about the playing experience? First, you can use almost all third-party controllers, so you don't have to buy the one from Google. I've been using my controller from PlayStation 4 that you have to connect through Bluetooth, and for most of the time it works pretty good with almost no lag. Now, how games run depend on your internet connection. At home, I have pretty nice speeds available, so I have no issues to point it out. In the last few days, I've been heavily playing Cyberpunk, and I can tell you that, contrary to what happened on other services and platforms, it runs smoothly. Of course, that optimization is something that Google has to keep on working to maintain players and users. I advise you to check what's your data plan, because Stadia can take a lot of data and bend, so make sure you don't drain your data if you have a limited plan. So, Stadia is on the way to become a great streaming gaming platform, and Microsoft and Sony should be on their toes because it can drive their customers away. The ability to play your games everywhere without having to be attached to a console is what I've been looking for a while, because it's when I'm out of home that I have more chance to play, either at lunch breaks or when I'm commuting. Also, when playing my games with service at home is great because I can play it in the kitchen, in the bedroom, in the backyard, as long as I can reach my internet connection. Even when I'm in the living room, it's great to just pull out my iPad or iPhone and play my games through Stadia, because it means that my family can still use the TV to see whatever they want. Now, what about the experience of playing Stadia on the iPad? For starters, and because of Apple's policy, you don't have a dedicated app that you can use to play Stadia. But Google was able to create a way around it through an in-browser solution that allows Google Stadia to run on the iPod, the iPhone or any other Mac. And you can even create an app-alike logo to place it on the screen to fast access. Play in the iPad Stadia games is great. This is the 2018 model and it does not break a sweat. Image quality is very good, even a 1080p option. And I've been playing with VPN turned on. Another aspect that helps the gaming experience are the 4 speakers available. The sound is great and immersive, but if you don't want to bother other people around you, use some headphones. I use the IpadPro and make use of the noise cancellation feature to make the experience even greater. Another great thing about using the iPad to stream and play Stadia games is portability, which is something that a PlayStation or Xbox or any computer can give you because they demand you to be stationary. With the iPad, you don't have to stay put in just one spot. You can play your games basically anywhere you want as long as you have an internet connection. With the iPad, you can take your gaming with you. You are not pinned out to a chair and a desk. And the battery on this device will allow you to play 3 to 4 hours before you have to plug in and charge. But even then, you can do it anywhere as long as there is a socket or just use a power bank. So, good graphics, great portability and battery life make the iPad a great device to play Google Stadia games. Apple should rethink its policy because if there's one thing that Stadia proved is that the iPad and the iPhone or even Apple TV are more than ready and able to run proper console games on these devices without a sweat, which could drive people to spend the extra money to buy one of these products if they saw them also as a console, and Apple Arcade just doesn't cut it, at least for now. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Have you tried Stadia? Have you tried Stadia on the iPad? What was the experience like? Okay everyone, thanks for watching, see you next time!